What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to become what I call a freedom creator. Someone that's solving problems online, doing the work that they love, making at least 20 to 30K a month in profit while maintaining super high profit margins. So I'm going to share everything I've learned over the last 10 years of being in business. I'm going to show you specifically the entire freedom creator business model. And then more importantly, the direct brand funnel, which is what I use now to create a client attraction system where you're bringing on clients and you're not having to chase, do cold outreach, cold DMs, none of that nonsense. And these are the exact same frameworks that I use to help clients like Patrick. He's an online fitness coach, helped him make 6K in his first few weeks. So who's this for? Let's talk about it. You're here to create freedom, right? Unapologetically, you want to create a business that supplies you a lifestyle of freedom. Freedom for yourself, freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom of purpose. You don't want to have to ask money for permission to do anything in your life, all right? So if you're a coach, you're an agency owner, a consultant, or some sort of expert, this is also for you. Anyone that solves problems online. You got to be making at least a couple grand a month. If you're just starting out and you have no idea how to make any money online, this is probably not for you. You're welcome to watch and get some value, but this is not for people that don't already have a business, all right? If you're someone that wants to build a personal brand, this is for you. You've been hearing about this whole leveraging a personal brand, creating content. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it the right way, where you're not constantly creating random content that just sucks up your time, all right? And you want to scale through paid ads, right? You want to grow your business and you don't want to rely just on the slow turtle-like movement of organic, right? Because they can take a long time. So I'm going to show you exactly how to use paid ads. I've spent over $3 million on behalf of my clients over the last 5 years, and then multiple six figures just advertising my own marketing business. Decent amount of experience with paid ads. So it's my favorite way to grow. And you're here because you want recurring profit. You don't want just one-off sales where you're chasing sales every single month and you have to start from zero and it's just a grind and a hustle. I ask me how I know. Okay, and then lastly, you believe your work is a calling. Like, it's not just about making money, which obviously is very important, and I love to make money, but you also feel like the work you're doing online is a calling, right? You feel like God put a message in your heart and you want to make impact. You want to do meaningful work. So how to get here, I want to give you a little bit of context, right? Of how I'm making 30 grand a month, doing the work I love, and absolutely enjoying the business that I have now. It wasn't always like that. So I want to give you a little bit of context of my journey, okay? I'm going to share with you all of the boring details. No, I'm just kidding. I'll try to keep it short, but I just want to give you some content. I really got started in business in 2010. I just graduated college, got my marketing degree. I tried to get a job at Verizon, but I had a record, so they denied me, which is one of the best things that has ever happened in my life. And was trying to figure out what I was going to do next. I was working out with my personal trainer, and he made the suggestion that I should get into personal training, which is something I've never thought about. And he planted the seed in my head. And I was like, oh interesting. I don't really want to work for somebody else, but that sounds interesting. I think there's some grace on that there. And then the funniest thing happened. Like, I was at the store shopping and there's some random lady I just started talking to was like, are you a personal trainer? I was like, no. And she was like, well, you would be a good trainer. I'm like, seriously? In the same day. So I took that as a sign from God and took it and ran with it. Found these guys named Bedros Keuilian who started Fit Body Bootcamp. It was just a licensing type arrangement back then. Now it's a pretty big franchise, but I got in, got my feet wet, and it was a struggle. It was scary and it was fun all at the same time. I remember, though, for me, it was just a lot of fear, a lot of fear of just not knowing what to do, like not knowing what to do and not wanting to get out of my comfort zone. I saw myself as a really shy person. In sports, I was always the quiet guy. So I really had to make the identity shift. And I remember one of my friends at the time, I was telling him about this vulnerable thing of how I just don't know if I can start this gym because this is like a boot camp model. You got to have high energy and you got to be this coach. And I just didn't see myself that way. And sure enough, he was like, yeah, I don't think that's for you, man. I don't think you can do that. And something in me was just snapped. I was just pissed me off. I'm like, come on, dude, you're supposed to be here to support me. friends are supposed to help each other out. But they gave me the fuel I needed to start. And, my ambition was I just wanted to create freedom. I just wanted to create freedom, create some money, get out of my dad's house and live on my own. I didn't want to have to work for somebody else. I didn't want to have other people telling me what to do. I wanted to be my own boss, like I'm sure many entrepreneurs out there, right? So that desire was strong enough that caused me to just embrace the suck, man, embrace the uncomfortability of everything. And I had to make that identity shift. And I had no confidence, but I was committed. I was committed to making it happen. And sure enough, it started to work, man. I remember the first time I got paid $300 for training services. I'll never forget that. That was a great feeling of like, man, this actually works. This is going to work. If one person paid me, there's going to be more people that pay me. So that's really how I got started in business, which I call the desert season of my life. This is about 2015 to 2019. At this point, just got married. The gym started tanking, just had our first baby, and we're broke. Really got hit hard in the face with reality of like, okay, I need to figure out how to pay the bills. I got a job at 1-800-GOT-JUNK for a while because the gym was not making any money. Just bummed all the time. Everything I tried to grow my gym was just not working. Okay, I was trying different ads, 6-week challenges. Everybody was running the same thing. It was just constant churn. It was a bummer. It was very hard. I felt crushed for sure. I remember taking a walk behind my house and just praying, mostly complaining, right? Of just like, why isn't this working? I feel like I'm just cursed, like nothing I do works. I'm just like destined to fail or what? And just complete hopelessness. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but it's a terrible feeling and it robs your energy. It robs your creative energy. When you're stuck in that cycle of like shame and hopelessness, like you can't create solutions, and like entrepreneurs need creative energy, right? And this is a picture here of us going out to dinner. And I share this because I had so much anxiety because we just spent $30, $40 on a meal that had to go on credit card, right? That I knew we couldn't afford, but we did it anyway. And I just remember the main desire in my heart was just like, man, I can't wait to just go out to eat when I want it, when I want, anytime I want, without having to worry about penny pinching or feeling that scarcity or that fear of not enough. So that was the desert season. And thankfully, God is good. And we had some breakthroughs, right? And one day I was driving and I felt like God dropped this idea into my heart that I should start in my gym a program for adults 50 and older. And when you get those ideas, at least for me, like it just felt like I needed to take action on it now. I can't just sleep on this thing. I can't just wait. I need to do it. I need to do it now. So sure enough, I decided to put the plan into action. And within like 6 months, we got that up to like 10K a month. It literally saved my gym. Why? Because everybody was marketing to the younger demographic. Nobody was serving the 50 plus demographic. And that was my first experience with one God idea can literally change your life. One God idea can change your life if you're listening. And then also the power of advertising. In this season, I really learned the power of running Facebook ads and then the power of differentiation. Like you can't just run the same ads as everybody else. You got to separate yourself so that you appear differently, and then you can charge premium prices for that as well. So this is just a picture of my gym, and this is a picture of me, my bald head, learn how to run ads, recording ads, lots of reps. I got a ton of reps in during that season of just recording ads, testing different hooks and headlines. And that's what it takes, man. That's what it takes. But thankfully, all of this led to me being able to sell my gym. We felt like God was moving us to a different season, which we spent 3 years back in Southern California. And then I sold my gym. That's a whole nother story in and of itself. But we sold the gym. It took a long time. Sold it for $120,000. For us at that time, it was life-changing money. I was able to pay off our debt. And at that time, I started my marketing agency, which is really where things started getting good, starting to be able to fulfill those desires of like getting some more freedom in my life. No longer do I have this building I got to pay for, have low overhead, high profit. So we sold the gym, started the agency, was making about $8,000 a month, bought a new house in Austin, And that started a whole new season of in 2019 of where I started my marketing agency, taking everything I've learned over the years of running paid ads and started helping other gym owners, helping other online fitness coaches, and then started helping dentists as well, all simply with paid advertising. Just like everything, it was a challenge, right? I had a lot of imposter syndrome. Like, who am I to help all these business owners? I felt so small and insecure about my ability to help other gym owners or business owners. I was just like, I didn't make $1 million. I didn't make millions. Like, who am I to help others, right? Even though I had some pretty good skills that I've learned. But that's the power of a mentor, man. I hired like 3 different mentors in this season, and each mentor gave me some skill sets, gave me some mindsets, and sometimes you have to borrow their confidence. And that's why I'm a firm believer in mentorship. Every breakthrough in my life has come from having a mentor in that particular season. So with my marketing agency, things started to get pretty fun. Started to get a taste of the good life. Bought some toys. Got this little electric Suron. I bought a one wheel. Bought an RV. And for me, I think money is the fuel for an adventurous life. Like, I'm not going to be the guy that's saving every penny. That's for sure. And I remember being able to take my family and my wife to Hawaii. Like, that was a life-changing moment where I actually had money saved up without having to put it on credit card or debt, and didn't have to worry. Like, was able to enjoy the vacation instead of thinking about, oh no, how am I going to pay for this? I'll have to pay for this later. Like, no, this money was set aside. We're going to have, and that's really a big part of the freedom creator model that I created is that your business should supply you fun. It should supply you freedom. And I'm going to get to the specifics here in just a second of the direct brand funnel and how all of this works. But this is why I'm making this video, because I believe everybody should have freedom. I believe everybody should have that feeling of being able to do what they want, not have to ask money for permission, be about their calling in life, and do the work that they love and get paid well for it, right? So things started going well. Won awards, the SaaSpreneur Award is for having over 100 customers, right? Was making decent money, right? Decent money. And these are just tax returns to show you, I'm not a millionaire, but not yet, at least. But we made, 300, 320, 340. But 2023, November, this is kind of a defining moment for me. Things, I had that desire to scale, right? Get to the 100K a month and just crush it and just grow at all costs, right? And we hit $40,000 months. In November was one of our biggest months, 44,000. But in our business, we were using a very stressful way to get there, right? Money back guarantees. That brought on a bunch of bad fit clients, and no matter how good we service them, if they didn't get the results that they wanted, they were asking for refunds, right? Chargebacks. Just brought on people that were very scarcity minded as well. I had a closer, right? I didn't want to do sales myself. So when we made this huge push last year, it was very stressful. Killed a lot of the profits. Even though we were making a profit, it was still, we were selling high ticket up front. So we're selling, 5-6 grand, but it was all in a 3-month chunk. So every month we'd have to start at zero. We had no recurring revenue, no stability in the business, which causes a lot of anxiety, right? And then we were just doing cold direct response ads, right? If you've been in the game for a while as a coach or a consultant or an agency owner and you've run cold ads, you know how annoying that can be. It can work, but it also creates this buy or die environment. They either buy from you or they die and you never see them again, right? So that also added to a lot of stress. And then I had a misaligned offer. A misaligned offer is where you're providing a solution to a problem that you don't want to solve. You're doing it in a way that you don't want to do. And for us, it was really done for you services, which we still do a little bit of. But ultimately, I began to hate the business that I built. I began to resent the business that I built. I had this big team. I was doing team meetings on calls all the time. I was just stressed out. And the defining moment for me was just like, man, I remember my kids like having that feeling of like, man, I'm a dad and my kids aren't getting the best of me. I'm like really short and irritated all the time with them. And this is not what they deserve. Like, they deserve a dad that is present. They don't care how much money I make. They deserve a dad that is present, that is in a good state of mind, that is getting good energy, being able to be there for them and engage with them and have fun with them, take them on fun trips, which at this point I became a slave to the business. And I remember listening to this guy, Dan, who's just my mentor now. And he was like, man, I have like 0% stress in my business. And it pissed me off so bad. And I was like, how is that possible? And everything in me wanted to make excuses. I always lying, but I knew him well enough to know he was not lying. And the reality is he just had a better model, a better business, a better philosophy. And thank God for mentors, right? And that really caused me to draw a line in the sand and say, I'm done. I'm done with this way of doing business. I got to find a better way, because I realized I've been building a business on somebody else's values, right? In social media, you have, well-intentioned people with very different values. I'm not trying to build a billion-dollar company. I just want a lifestyle business that makes me 100K a month profit. And by the way, this business model that I'm going to share with you will definitely get me there. So right now we're about 35K. So I really went back to the drawing board, asked myself a ton of hard questions in that season of, what do I really want to do? What do I want to build? How do I want to go about building this business? Because I realized one of the main things is like how I'm bringing on clients is causing the majority of the stress in my business. Spending a lot of 10 grand a month on ads, constant hustle, big team, all of that stuff I decided to leave behind, running cold ads and cold outreach, all of that stuff. I was done with it. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. So this is the new Freedom Creator way, the new Freedom Creator model. This is kind of my name for the new way that I believe is really the best overall business model, right? I've always been on the hunt, making iterations after iteration over the last years. And what I'm about to show you here is really the best way to build an online business. If you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner, is if you're like me, you don't get excited about a ton of sales calls on your calendar. Like, for me, that makes me very anxious. It leaves me drained. I don't have time for all that, right? But with this way, you don't have a sales team. You can do all the sales yourself, because it's very minimal, and you can do sales without even taking sales calls. With the new Freedom Creator way, you don't have to chase prospects. I now have clients coming to me because they see through strategic content, and I'll get into all of that here in a minute. But I have high ticket recurring revenue as well. Okay, every month I have stability in my business. I have revenue coming in that I know is going to be there. I don't have to go and chase sales. And I also have alignment of the business model, where I actually enjoy the problems that I'm solving and the people that I'm serving. Like, my who is dialed in, and that is really important, right? And then with this new way, the marketing does the majority of the selling. So my sales calls became only like 10 to 15 minutes. And it was like I was talking to referrals, like they were that hot, because I would only get on calls with people that have consumed all my content, right? And that caused 90% show rates, fired a bunch of my team, went from like a team of 7 down to like 3. Lean team, higher profits. Right now we're at about 35K a month, but this model easily going to take us to 100K a month. I have friends doing 100, 200K a month using this model. And it's definitely the path forward for any coach, consultant, or agency owner. So let's dive into the actual model. There's really these 5 components that make up this Freedom Creator model. One is personal mastery. I'm not going to dive into all these. I'll just give you an overview. Personal mastery to me is entails your faith, your mindset, your soul health, all of the internal world, right? A lot of people don't talk about it, and oftentimes it's overlooked. But the reality is, if your internal world is messed up, then your business is not going to grow, right? And Tony Robbins, for example, right? He says 80% of success is psychology, 20% is the mechanics, 20% is the strategy. I'm not sure if that's an exact statistic, but it does drive the point home that your mindset, the way you think, the beliefs you hold, right? The emotional cycles you live in are going to 100% affect your business. And I know that as a fact in my life, when I was stuck in shame and hopelessness, that kept my business flat, like not able to grow because of my emotional health, right? And even the Bible says that above all else, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. Like literally every issue in your life is a heart issue. It's a matter of what you believe, what you think, how you feel, all of that. All right. The next foundational pillar, if you want to call it, is the having alignment in your model. Like the way you build your business will literally determine if you have freedom or if you're a slave to your business. So you got to be clear on your model. And that includes like your offer. Are you going to do sales calls or not? How are you going to do the sales? Like, how are you going to take them from cold to sold? Right? Like all of those details need to be aligned. So it needs to be aligned with your season of life, because every season is different. It needs to be aligned with your skill set and your experience and your credibility. So all of that needs to be aligned, and it's important to do that. When you're out of alignment, that's when you start feeling stuck. You start feeling burnt out, start feeling depressed, right? And then we have leverage. Leverage really is software and team. So automations, having SOPs dialed in, being able to delegate, has been absolute paramount for me to actually give me freedom, right? Where I have a team running the day to day, where I don't have to be involved unless I want to. I can work when I want, take days off when I want because of leverage. All right. Then over here, we got the conversion path. This is really, how are you going to take them from a lead to signing up with you, right? Are they going to go through a lead magnet? What type of lead magnet? Are they going to do a low ticket product, a workshop? What's that value ladder? Whatever word you want to call it. Like I found there to be a specific way to do it that warms them up and makes it easy, so you're not having to jump on calls with cold prospects. And then lastly, we're going to dive into the direct brand funnel. This has been the secret sauce for me that has allowed me to create a client attraction system where I'm not getting on calls with anybody unless they've gone through my content. This is one of my clients from my mentorship that has been utilizing, putting these things into action. And, she went from 20 leads a day to 85 leads a day. So absolutely crushing it. She's a coach that teaches people how to flip houses, right? So I share that because that is a result of just implementing the stuff we teach. So let's dive into the direct brand funnel. Here's a beautiful picture I found, but it just gives you the illustration. If you look at the top here, this is your top of funnel. This is your middle funnel. This is your bottom of funnel. Top of funnel is people that, you're driving. The whole goal here is to drive awareness of your brand, who you are, introducing them to you. And then the middle of the funnel is really nurturing the lead, right? Nurturing them with content, getting them to know, like, and trust you. The bottom of the funnel is where people do business with you. They get your lead magnet. They buy your low ticket product. They sign up for your high ticket service. So that's the way the funnel should work. And the direct brand funnel is really something I created to fix the problem that I had, right? The problem I had was I was running ads straight to the red part here, straight to the bottom of the funnel. Here's my offer. Take it or leave it, right? And it just doesn't make sense in the natural world of like relationship, right? If you go up to someone and ask them to marry you, that's kind of weird. But this is what we do all day long, sending people to our offer, sending people straight to our VSL, running paid traffic. I'll get you 90 clients, or I'll help you lose 30 pounds in 30 days, or whatever your offer is. Like we're using paid ads. And it just caused a real buy or die. Like I said, a buy or die relationship leads buy or die. There's no long term to it, right? I was very short term minded. I was lazy, and it still works, but it's like literally 5% of the people are ready to buy. Like, what about everybody else, right? If you want to play the long game, you don't want to have up and down months and instability. Like you want to have peace in your business where you don't have to worry about where your next client's coming from every month. Then this direct brand funnel is the solution. Direct brand funnel has 3 components to it. 1 is essence marketing. 2 is using paid ads to drive more traffic into the funnel. 3 is using YouTube to accelerate trust with your audience. Okay, so I'm going to dive in to those right now. The first part is essence marketing. This has really been the secret to creating a deep connection with your audience that causes them to want to work with you. Like when I started implementing this, this is how I would hop on sales calls, and they'd only be 10 minutes because people that have doing business with me have already resonated with my message. They already like me. They've already consumed my content. They've already watched videos like the one you're watching right now, and they're ready to move to the next step, right? So essence marketing is really that first step that you got to get clear on, right? This includes your messaging. What are you about? How do you want to show up in the world, right? So we got here what's called ethos, pathos, and logos. I got this from my mentor, Dan. He got it from a guy named Aristotle, right? So it's really the form of communication. It's a philosophy of communication, of persuasion, of the three main parts of that you need to communicate that need to be established to have influence with someone. Okay, so the first part is ethos. Ethos is really credibility, likability, and authority. Okay. And this is really connected to the book called Story Brand, right? If you Story Brand or Expert Secrets, all very similar thread of learning how to craft your message and your story in a way that influences people and connects with them deeply, right? So your ethos, the goal here is to establish credibility, likability, and authority. So you got to get clear on what you're about, right? So your authority, your credibility, that's all about like what experience do you have, right? What results have you attained? What breakthroughs have you gotten in your life that are similar to your audience? Okay, and then likability, that just comes down to your core values, like, you know, what do you like, what don't you like? Find that relatability, right? There's that phrase that like attracts like, your vibe attracts your tribe. All of that stuff matters. So, you know, for me, I like fun. I like RVing. I like travel. I like electric vehicles. I got a Suron and a one wheel. If you know what it is, you know what it is. Um, I'm all about freedom. And, you know, because I'm clear on that, I'm clear on how I want to show up. People resonate with me and they want to do business with me. Like literally the last two coaching clients I brought on, they all said that they wanted what I had because of the message of freedom. Pathos, moving on to pathos, that's like the emotional side of things. Okay. The emotional connection that you're creating with your audience, saying people don't care what you know until they know that you actually care. So this is where you have to get vulnerable. You have to share your struggles that relate to your audience, right? Like what struggles have you gone through? Like what challenges have you faced emotionally, right? Like for me, I felt like I struggled with a lot of self-doubt, struggled with a lot of debilitating fear. And I'm not afraid to share that. Like I'm a human. I have all these struggles. Like no one relates to the perfect person that just got all the results and didn't have any hard times, right? And it's not like you want to make stuff up here. You want to be 100% honest, but you got to do the deep work of thinking, you know, what are the struggles that I had that relate to my audience that they're going to face as well. So you want to demonstrate empathy. Empathy is that where they feel that you care, that you're authentic. And you do that through showing them that you understand, by sharing the problems that you've encountered, the way that made you feel, because they're going to put themselves in your shoes and they're going to see that you're human and that they have the same struggles as you. It's not just the struggles, it's sharing the ambitions. Like what are your core desires that are similar to your audience, right? What do they want? Because what they want is kind of what I've been sharing, that feeling of freedom, being able to take your family out, take them on vacations when you want, not needing to ask money for permission, feeling free to make choices, taking your kids to whatever school, putting them in whatever school that you want, and being free to be about your purpose, where you don't have to show up every day if you don't want. You can work when you want. And, you know, those are the emotions I'm after, that feeling of confidence, feeling of freedom. So I'm not under this lack and scarcity mindedness all the time, right? So essence marketing covers those two, ethos and pathos. Gets people to know you, like you, trust you. Logos is the logic, the details, the data, stats, roadmap. That's very logical side of communication. And that is reserved for your offer. That's reserved for the sales call. The old way is you're trying to do all three of these on a sales call. And that's how you get those hour-long sales calls, trying to build rapport and all that. I'm done with all that. With the direct brand funnel, your marketing does the selling. And that's the big takeaway. The stronger your marketing is, the easier this makes the whole sales process. So this is where your strategic content comes in. With your essence marketing, you have a whole script. You have a story inventory. You've gone through your life and you keep track of all the stories of, that creates credibility, likability, authority, connection. You get really clear on how you want to show up. Second component of the direct brand funnel is using paid ads to accelerate the growth. So we have established that you should be doing content, strategic content. We call this essence marketing. Okay. But if you just rely on the organic algorithms, it's going to take a very long time to get your message out there. So the new way of doing this is really using paid ads the correct way it should be used, which is to drive people into the top of your funnel, right? And that's where we use, short form reels, content on Facebook, on YouTube to capture attention, to get people into your world, into your ecosystem, where they can now be nurtured through your essence content, where now they're getting value. They see you as the expert. They see you as the guide to help them get to their results. Okay, so this is really the second component. Drive traffic into the funnel with paid ads to get them to consume your content. And then you retarget those people that have consumed your content with your offers, whether that's your lead magnet offer, whether that's your low ticket offer, whether that's your high ticket offer. Okay, you show those offers to people that are warm, right? It's just a very logical sequence, very simple. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Like I said, I would just drive traffic to all cold audiences and just show them my offers. And then we wonder why it's so damn expensive. And you have a business that is constantly hustling and you get that grind, push energy, which is no bueno. Nowadays, I experience much more flow, a lot more ease. Okay, because I'm signing up clients that already know me, like me, and trust me. It's just a lot more fun. All right. Here's another client, Prem. Just signed a 7 location deal with a restaurant. Right, he helps restaurant owners with marketing systems, implementing all of the stuff we're talking about through our mentorship, utilizing these frameworks. Okay, so lastly, how does this look practically? Practically, you're going to want to run a follower ad, right? There's multiple ways to implement this philosophy. That's kind of how I see it. The direct brand funnel can be utilized in different ways, different social media platforms, but the concept stays the same. You can do this on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. So it all starts with the ads, right? You want to build your audience. You want to build that middle of the funnel. So you drive traffic to the top of the funnel with these follower ads. Like on Instagram, you run these follower ads, say, hey, if you're, you call out your audience. Hey, if you're a coach, course creator, agency, you want to build your business, add 20, 30K a month profit, come follow me on Instagram, consume my content, check me out on YouTube, give me a like and a follow if you want to learn more, something like that, right? So that's this ad that drives people to your Instagram page. You should have it optimized, right? Have a link to my YouTube. I got trainings, client wins, life stuff. This is all the essence marketing here, right? And then a lot of these people will consume that and then go over to my YouTube channel, which you don't need a huge channel. Like literally with just a couple strategic YouTube videos, you can absolutely crush it with this strategy, right? But for me, I'm a huge believer in YouTube. I believe it's the way of the future. No other platform is actually, well, maybe some platforms, but just it's going to pay you to bring you clients. Like that's really the big epiphany I had. I'm not monetized yet, but the reality is you keep sticking with it, at least making a video a week, YouTube is going to pay you to bring you clients. Like that's ridiculous. So it drives these audience to YouTube or they consume more of your content, where this is the long form, right? This is all short form, but now they can see your long form content. Now they can really engage with you on a deeper level. Plus, they can binge your content. They can go through all of your videos in 3 hours, 4 hours. And now you're able to scale the trust factor, the likability factor, right? The authority factor. You can scale that. Someone can literally go from cold to hot in one day and become a client the next. All right. That's the power of having this direct brand funnel. And then for me, I use an offer doc to sell. Sometimes I'll do sales calls. You don't have to do sales calls. I know plenty of people that are just using an offer doc. I don't have a picture of the offer doc, but the call to action is simply DM me. Hey, if you want to know more, like you'll see on my YouTube videos, if you want to know about my coaching program, shoot me a DM and we'll see if it's a good fit. Then I'll send them my offer doc, and that's the logos. That just gives all the details of the offer, right? So that is how it works. Oh, one thing I did forget, the very specific aspect of YouTube. If you want to get up and running, you only need one video. It's the video you're watching right now. I call it the My Journey video. And you take people through your story so they can get to know you, like you, trust you. Because obviously if you're an atheist and you hate God, you're probably not going to want to do business with me. Not that I require anybody to believe what I believe. I'm just unapologetically me in my videos. I love everybody, work with anyone who wants to work with me, but I also teach biblically. So if people don't like that, then they're repelled. And that only happens through these YouTube videos. So I call this the My Journey video. It can be anywhere from 30 minutes, could be 15, could be 40 minutes. I think this video is going to be kind of long. So that's really the main one you need on your YouTube. That's going to get people sold on you as the messenger so they can trust you and they see you as a guide and an expert. You've gotten results, and then they can emotionally connect with you as well. Okay, so that's the whole funnel. I did launch my coaching program a month ago or so. It's been going great. I'm launching a community now. It's called Freedom Creators. If you want to know more, then shoot me a DM. I'll post a link below. I'm also creating a new school community, so the link to that will probably be below as well. But this is for you if you're a coach, agency owner, course creator. You want to create more recurring revenue, stability in your business. You want to implement this direct brand funnel. I can help you with that. But this is really a one-to-one mentorship that I'm doing right now. So this isn't just another course or anything like that. It's everything that I've learned, and here to help you step by step really create freedom in your business, freedom of time, money, and purpose.